Welcome to the Wrestling Week in Review. My name is CarDaddy. Do not forget to please. We are going to go over everything wrestling that happened this week. Raw, Smackdown, AEW. I got the recaps up on my phone. And we are going to... We can talk about old stuff, but we're on the anniversary of Hogan slamming Andre the Giant, so I figured it'd be nice to have a good old Haas Tournament on Fire Pro up on the screen while we talk about wrestling this week. And we'll simulate this and let it kind of play out its course. So let's get into that. Oh, I don't have to touch anything. I just read stuff. Is it doing it? Is it doing what it's supposed to do? All right. I put ourselves on a party so the frickin' music's not so loud. We totally missed the full entrance there, but who cares? Here comes Cassius Ohno. Whoever created him decided he is Los Ingobernables. Fight! This is the best thing about Fire Pro. These are so good. So let's talk about Raw, which led off with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar opening the show. And I like the angle they're taking with the empty crowds, and Lesnar brings stability to everything. And it just really brings a legitimacy to Brock Lesnar that he's showing up. He's still a monster no matter what's going on. I can assure you, after what happened at the Royal Rumble and what happened in Brooklyn, New York, Brock Lesnar will make it quick, but he won't make it painless. Heyman is always a great opening promo. I don't know if they've ever not opened the show with Heyman when he's around, which is unbelievable. We've already got a run-in? Who is this? This is dark-skinned John Cena? Who even is this? What? Look at him! Who is this? He didn't even say a name! Stop ruining my tournament, random guy in jorts. Oh my god. Sir. Folks, as you can see, this game does not care. Yeah. The Brock Lesnar-Drew McIntyre match is probably going into a crazy WrestleMania where Lord knows what's going to happen with the cinematics. Probably my most anticipated match. Just because Drew McIntyre is awesome, it'd be really cool for a Scottish guy to win. I don't know what that sound was this guy just made. Dark-skinned John Cena's a savage. I don't know who this is. A Scottish world champion would be super sick. I think the Scottish Claymore is the coolest name for a finishing move ever. And Drew McIntyre is the epitome of get fired, go to the indies, recreate yourself as an absolute star, and come back. So he deserves everything. I really hope he wins, but this promo was A1 at building up the destruction that is Brock Lesnar. Then we got AJ Styles cutting a promo with the OC by his side. I'm not super into what they're doing with this, because it's The Undertaker. He's supposed to be really scary, and he's The Undertaker, to be honest. Like, it's supposed to be a really serious feud every time he's with somebody. And AJ Styles can cut a really good serious program. Like, we saw him do it. Jesus, announcer. We saw him do it in Japan all the time, in the indies all the time, and he can do it. But now we have The Undertaker getting made fun of for wearing maternity pants, and then getting called the Gothic Tiger King, and just talking about him posting selfies. And to cap it all off, AJ Styles challenged him to a boneyard match. This review gave it a B-. I give it much less than that. I'm so super not into this. I really wish that we got super serious AJ Styles, who could put on the best matches ever. And instead we're getting Like, I like that when they were being kind of goofy against John Cena, but this is The Undertaker. You were facing The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Like, don't say he's wearing maternity pants. Why? Why are you doing this?
1, 2.
Now on to probably one of the better matches of the entire week. We're looking at Angel Garza and Andrade versus Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. Garza and Andrade win via pinfall because Cedric Alexander can't buy himself a win lately in the WWE. But unbelievable match. The Latinos in WWE now are just unbelievable. Angel Garza and Andrade are both ridiculous. Obviously, Cedric Alexander is unbelievable. Ricochet can flip better than anybody can ever flip. But Andrade's back elbow was absolutely insane. Looked like he took his head off with it. And Street Profits came out to join the commentary booth, and they never interfered. Great match. That's pretty much all I got to say about it. They've been putting on a show every single time to get out there with Angel Garza and Andrade. Street Profits defeat Shane Thorne and Brendan Vink. Here's my thing. Shane Thorne deserves so much better with... If anybody followed him before in New Japan and in Australia, he was probably... Oh, I'm getting spam friend requests from bot accounts. He was unbelievable with the Mighty Don't Kneel. Unbelievable. And I understand his partner had to go back home for family reasons and, you know, didn't want to do it anymore. But, like, why is he just making, like, throwaway appearances to get squashed by whoever? Like, the Street Profits are good, but come on. There we go. 88% match. That's not a bad match. Our first match of the evening is an upset because I thought Cash Sona was going to make it through. Togi Makabe beats Cash Sona with the Dragon Suplex, 9 minutes 31 seconds. Let's continue the tournament. Next up, we have Luchasaurus versus Toru Yano. Anybody who knows how much I love super cool, ridiculous gimmicks knows I love Luchasaurus. You know who I'm pulling for in this match. That menu really messes up my stream. Next segment was Shayna Baszler being interviewed. I'm gonna be honest, don't like Shayna Baszler as like an interview. I like when she's a quiet badass that's doing the MMA stuff. It really felt like a forced comment from her when she just kind of led it into, why don't you say just what you want to say? Why don't you say it? Why do you love to destroy? It's terrible, terrible promo. And then Becky Lynch came out and smoked her with a chair, which was the best part of the entire thing. CBS gave it a B+. Garbage. Garbage.
Drew up. Why are you eating stuff on the couch?
Pugsley, don't eat couch things.
Okay.
He was a dirtbag.
Just gonna start throwing up.
Yeah, just don't like Shayna Baszler talking at all. Becky Lynch should have done the interview, and then they could have done whatever they wanted after that. Becky Lynch can actually cut a promo. Maybe Baszler did it on the Indies. I don't. That felt terrible. And you're not even in front of a live audience. Like, you should be able to pull that apart. Aleister Black defeats Leon Ruff via pinfall. I don't know, squash matches for Aleister Black this far into his lifespan is silly, but whatever. I like watching him kick people in the face. That's fun. And then Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins cut dueling promos. If anybody in the stream knows how much of a Seth Rollins fan I am, I've got the Seth Rollins Returns piece of the canvas up there that my wife bought me after Seth Rollins came back from his devastating knee injury. I love serious Seth Rollins. I love super hardcore Seth Rollins. And these promos were unreal. Because I love Kevin Owens too. He's unbelievable. But Seth Rollins, with the all-time quote, might be one of my favorite lines of all time. Kevin Owens, you cannot beat me on my worst day, and WrestleMania is never my worst day, because under pressure, I become a god. Seth Rollins as the Messiah of Raw is, like, the best character that he's done since he threatened to kill Edge. I hope they continue this up, and I hope this match really shows out, because both guys have incredible work rate. both guys have obviously put on matches in front of like 13 people in a gymnasium. I say a ton, and I'm catching myself doing it. But yeah, this promo was unbelievable. I've talked about it pretty much all week with my buddies. Rollins is crazy good. Charlotte Flair interviewed backstage. A lot of interviews on Raw. And then Randy Orton cut a promo. Charlotte Flair interviewing backstage is just... She invited WrestleMania 36 point Rhea Ripley. I completely forgot this match was even happening, to rewatch more of her matches, learn a thing or two. Super weak. Like, just... Your entire promo is, please watch my matches so you know what kind of stuff I'm capable of. I'm super not into it. Randy Orton cut a promo to close the show. Now, spoilers to anybody who's not paying attention to rumors and stuff like that. Allegedly, because of the coronavirus COVID-19, Edge is going to be staying away from WrestleMania. I will be devastated if that match doesn't happen. But Orton cuts an unbelievable promo, because he always does, talking about the attack on Beth Phoenix and smoking people with chairs and destroying everybody. But Orton's really hitting the point of Adam Copeland being a junkie for Edge and needs to be Edge and needs to show up for the roar of the crowd. Orton comparing his entire career to everything Edge wants to do.
Keep up. Keep up.
It's been great. And Orton, when he's on his game, and Orton, when he cares, is probably the best to ever do it. It's just, I wish he cared more than like 25% of the time. Edge, you may be writing the story, but at WrestleMania, I'm going to write the last chapter and end it. I accept the last man standing. Last man standing, Edge versus Randy Orton is going to be unbelievable. If it happens, Edge coming back off an injury that should have kept him away and possibly killed him to face one of the greatest athletes to ever do the thing is just a great story. Toru Yano laughing like a maniac on my TV right now. This match has been great. But if you don't think Randy Orton's going to carry Edge to an absolute insane match, no matter how much ring rust Edge has, and my bet is Edge's got to come out on top there. You don't have a return match at WrestleMania and then lose? But who knows? I'm not mad at either situation happening. I don't know what's going on in my game right now. They're debating using a chair, I think. Or it was like a fake chair routine. Like the Eddie thing. That promo got an A-. It's official, last man standing at Mania. And that was the end of Raw. So they're really skating by.
You have to come right into my face, claw me in the face.
Yeah, he does.
Like, what's with that?
The WWE's really kind of making the best of things with a lot of promos. Not really a lot of matches in front of no audience. Which is probably for the better, I suppose, because you can't get the crowd reaction, and promos can really be a little more cinematic. I've enjoyed them. Some of the backstage ones suck. But whatever. I mean, we're doing what we can with what we can.
10 minutes gone.
Smackdown. I'm going to do both WWEs, and then I'm going to do AEW, because AEW had probably my favorite thing all time in Chris Jericho cutting a promo against a drone and calling the drone a piece of shit. It might be my favorite thing that's happened in wrestling in a very long time. Smackdown, Bayley and Sasha Banks opened the show with an in-ring promo. It was okay. Blame Paige for putting the 5-way match at WrestleMania together. We're in a 5-way match. They haven't really built anything here, and it's just been... They killed all the characters so far before this match. Like, Bayley, Sasha Banks, unfortunately hasn't mattered in a while, even though she's a great talent. They have Naomi, who was away for a while, and they didn't really do anything other than a really cool entrance for her at the Royal Rumble. Tamina is, like, here one week, not there the next. It is what it is. I mean, I hope they make the best of the match and do something good at WrestleMania, but these promos, like, it's hard to build animosity with people that don't really have a story.
2, 3.
Don't... There's upsets going on all day on this. Toru Yano picks up the win against Luchasaurus and refuses to release this pin. 12 minutes, 22 seconds. 10 appearances. Double leg hook fall after the Onikaroshi. Folks, we are headed for a very unique tournament here. Next match, Hiroyoshi Tenzan versus the Ryback. Love Ryback. Ryback's going to win this. Don't disappoint me here, Ryback. Did it just randomized to some match that it wanted to do? Sir? Who's coming out? It randomized to the Josh Alexander match. Right, Josh Alexander versus whoever he's facing. Don't remember who it is. How dare the game do that to me? The walking weapon, Josh Alexander. Picking up our first connection problem of the night. Alright, next on Smackdown was probably my favorite thing going on right now, which is Drew Gulak and Daniel Bryan being absolutely ridiculous and pretending like they're... Not pretending, because I guess they are. It's Lance Archer. Love Lance Archer. Acting like they're just straight catch-shoot wrestlers. Just warming up in the ring before the fight. Everything about him. So good. Drew Gulak defeats Shinsuke Nakamura. Which, the match was good. Gulak and Nakamura are both really good wrestlers. But the best part about the whole thing is Daniel Bryan going after Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania in what sounds like it'll probably be Daniel Bryan's last match. He's looking to write it off into the sunset and not go full-time after taking paternity leave pretty soon. And I hope he gives Sami Zayn, because, like, Che Guevara Sami Zayn that has been going on recently with his weird protester, political radical character that he's been doing has been absolutely phenomenal. And putting the Intercontinental title on him to defend at WrestleMania is super cool for him because, you know, first singles title. So I'm really hoping they do something special with that match. And even if Bryan wins, it could be a great match. I think this could be a big Sami Zayn moment. Dolph Ziggler. So here's some great stuff, because I'm a big Dolph Ziggler fan. They haven't done a ton with him, unfortunately. But I'm all in on him all the time. And he's doing some great work with Otis. I was reading Otis and Tucker together. Dolph Ziggler shown talking on a phone backstage before Otis and Tucker bust in. Ziggler said he wanted to embarrass Otis with the world watching lay down the WrestleMania challenge. So here's what we get. Pretty cool, because serious Otis is treading on Mark Henry territory, where we can both do World's Strongest Man, Nation of Domination Mark Henry, Hall of Pain Mark Henry, but we can also do funny sexual chocolate Mark Henry, and we could do funny Mae Young giving birth to a hand, and Mark Henry's the father Mark Henry. But he's always been taken super serious because he has legitimacy to him. And building this serious side of Otis is really helping us build legitimacy into the funny Otis as well. Then when he does his funny stuff, you still know he's a threat. And that could help him immensely to getting to a, let's say, even say just mid-card title. Be nice about it. US title, Intercontinental title, and then, you know, Heavy Machinery getting the tag titles would be super cool. But Otis is, I think, the star of that pairing. And if they can do this serious Otis thing properly at WrestleMania and give us the goofy payoff with Mandy Rose, I'm super, super into that.
5 minutes gone.
And then this is where the best part of WWE programming over the week happened. We had Elias come out and sing a song about King Corbin, calling him a turd. And Corbin comes in, attacks him, and they battle all the way up to an elevated... They battle to the elevated stage where he was. Elias addressed the capacity crowd. Corbin charged in, hit him with the scepter, and knocked him off of the elevated stage. Like many have been saying, like the Lion King. And certifiably, commits attempted murder on Elias as he stands tall on some long live the king stuff. And the camera angles were great. Give it up to the production crew. It looked so funny and good. I loved everything about it. I really want them to keep doing stuff like that. This is what I'm hoping for this WrestleMania, because they're pre-taping it all. So if they pre-tape it all, they can do stuff like that. Edit, cut it, things, camera angle trickery to show off like the AJ Styles Undertaker Boneyard match can look like a movie if they wanted to. With no problems. No problems at all, it can look like a movie. But let's see if they pull the trigger on it. Lance Archer this is a great match. Alexa Bliss defeated Asuka after a pinfall by DDT. Nikki Cross on commentary for the match. Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss are just a cool pairing. It was really turned out nice for them. Great match. And with a DDT. I don't know. I like DDT endings. I'm a Jake Snake guy. I mean, that should be the finisher. Overcoming shoulder that was worked over by Asuka and the jump. They give it a B. It was a good match. It was the best women's match in a little while. And that's good because Alexa Bliss needed it. Ooh, it was close. Alexa Bliss has really put on a ton of amazing performances. Asuka's been putting on some great stuff, especially with the heel character work. I'm glad they put something together there. And going into Mania, I mean, everybody needs a good match. Triple H with the backstage interview, giving a perspective. Yeah, so they're still talking about Goldberg versus Roman Reigns, although it sounds like they're going to pull Roman Reigns out of it, or he pulled himself out. Just whatever's kind of going on there. So kind of odd that they continued with it. I mean, I got my Goldberg shirt somewhere back there because that's what I was going to wear until I remembered I had this shirt and could find it. Nice Hulk Hogan. March 29th, 1987. At the Pontiac, Michigan Silverdome. I like Goldberg. I like Roman Reigns. I think Roman Reigns is unbelievable. People can say whatever they want about him. But if he pulls out, I mean, the rumors are, spoiler alert, skip ahead like a minute if you don't want to hear this. Rumors are Braun Strowman's going to get the match. I don't want that. I'd much rather Roman Reigns. So, whatever. They're talking about Triple H has wrestled both of them, and this is what's going on. And then we get into the fun stuff. Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt doing a Firefly Funhouse, which is my favorite segment of wrestling overall since they've been doing it. Don't care how many times they bury my boy Bray Wyatt. But Firefly Funhouse is always super fun. Wyatt said he now has a recipe. I love the callback. Ooh. I love the callback to WrestleMania 30 because I felt like that was a huge misstep in the Bray Wyatt career. That should have been an easy win, and that should have been the rise to stardom. But they're bringing it back. I'm hoping they correct this. Wyatt said he now has the recipe to beat John Cena after failing at WrestleMania 30. He added a mixture of ingredients to a blend labeled disappointment, self-loathing, rage, and resentment, and a dash of hot sauce. Of course, because, funny. And that's his nice juice that he made in the blender. Wyatt made an official WrestleMania challenge to Cena for a Firefly Funhouse match. Now, I don't know what that is. And again, with the cinematic style, I'm really hoping that this is very movie-like. But you know what though? John Cena's been in Hollywood. Let's say John Cena doesn't seem like the type to kind of play into this thing. But John Cena's been in Hollywood like proper for a bit now. I'm really hoping that comes into play here, as Bray Wyatt's been doing these Firefly Funhouses really well, and obviously his segments prior to making it into the WWE, when you watch him with Eli Cottonwood and stuff, he's a phenomenal person to be speaking, especially when you can edit and keep everything proper. It could be unbelievable.
1, 2, 3.
They give it a B. I really like the segment. I really like the challenge. I love Bray Wyatt. I love The Fiend. I'm hoping that we have this cool funhouse match where he bounces between The Fiend and Bray Wyatt and really mess with John Cena's head as they should have done similarly before. Lance Archer picking up the victory, by the way. Let's get on to the next match. Lance Archer, an 83% match valuation. That's not bad. 16 minutes, 14 seconds in with the EBD Claw choke slam. Love me some Lance Archer. Okay, let's do this one. Tenzan versus Ryback. That's what we thought we were doing last time. Go Ryback. I love me Ryback. The New Day versus the Usos ended in a no contest. Don't know what they're doing with this. It's just kind of all over the place. I love the New Day. Heel Usos are great. Ms. Morrison ran in from commentary to attack them. Just let them have the match. I guess we're going to have a three-way is what they're kind of building to, so they ruin the match and whatever. This resulted in an announcement they would defend titles against both teams in a ladder match. Yeah. Okay. So obviously you can tell that I didn't watch full Smackdown, so I'm reading recaps here. The result in an announcement that they would defend the titles against both teams in a ladder match at WrestleMania. I like it because it's obviously going to be a crazy good match. Like, I'm excited to see where they go. Obviously, John Morrison in a ladder match is unbelievable. Kofi, or I wonder who's going to wrestle in it. But all of New Day, yeah, Xavier Woods is injured. I wonder who's going to wrestle in it. Maybe it's Xavier Woods. Sorry, buddy. I miss you. Kofi and Big E in a ladder match is going to be a cool mix-up. And the Usos are always crazy. The Miz is just a great showman, so he'll obviously... who knows what kind of high spot he does, but he's going to make the match look great. And that was SmackDown. SmackDown overall way better than Raw. Better matches, better segments, other than the Seth Rollins and possibly the Orton promo. Like, the Seth Rollins promo is the best one I've enjoyed in recent history. But overall, if you're watching for wrestling matches, SmackDown was where it was at this week. I'm not going to go over NXT. I haven't been paying attention at all to NXT, unfortunately, other than small bits of the Tommaso Ciampa, Johnny Gargano stuff. Just because I like both guys. I think they're great. So we're just going to go into AEW. And thank you, All Elite Wrestling, for posting your results very concisely and nice, well written out and explained on your own website. Making it super easy for me to do stuff like this. Kenny Omega on commentary was phenomenal. Opening match, Cody versus Jimmy Havoc. I love Jimmy Havoc. I've met Jimmy Havoc. I've seen him wrestle live. I've seen him do hardcore match live. Love Jimmy Havoc. I've seen Cody live as well. But I love Jimmy Havoc. I wish he would get more wins. I wish he would be a bit more of a main player going on here. But it is what it is. Come now. They have a great match. They had Jimmy Havoc put on a great match and still make him look like he wants to go to the hardcore stuff. Cody obviously puts on a great TV match every single time. The guy's got crazy talent. Should have been a world champion back during the Damien Sandow stuff. Cody gave Havoc a reverse suplex. Cody spiked Havoc with 2 crossroads for a victory. I don't know why we had to do 2 crossroads other than the fact that, like, we're trying to play up that Jimmy Havoc won't die. But, like, we're doing that to everybody. Like, he won't die, Darby Allin won't die, Matt Hardy won't die. Nobody dies. So we're crossing dangerous territory as far as I'm concerned with the a million finishers thing. Because that's, as far as I'm concerned, this is a normal match. And you use 2 crossroads to put the guy away. What it is. We got Ryback doing jackhammers on screen. Shout out to Goldberg. Jake Snake Roberts has a message for Cody. Jake Snake Roberts, still probably the best promo in the world. It's insane how glued to the TV I am when Jake the Snake Roberts is speaking. And not just because, oh my god, Jake's on the TV. After the first promo, if he wasn't good and he didn't have it anymore and he was sloppy, I'd tune out. The same way that I do when some people get on TV now with legends and stuff like that. But Jake the Snake Roberts has something about him still that is just so captivating. And Lance Archer is so lucky to get a piece of that as his mouthpiece. So when they bring him in now up against Cody, it's all Lance Archer has to do is come in and do Lance Archer things in the ring. Be a monster. Put in one of those matches that you know he can do. Oh my god. Oh my god, he killed Tenzan with the jackhammer? Ryback, please. Sir, what are you doing? Oh, that's the first match that I've seen end in absolute murder. That isn't one of the death matches I ran through this game. We'll do a death match tournament. Probably next week. Actually, 60%. Yeah, it was a 7-minute match and Ryback killed him. Alright, we'll get back to the Jake the Snake promo in a second. Ryback doesn't want to let me do things. This is my favorite because I had Super Strong Machine in this game. Super Strong Machine versus Michael Elgin. Big Mike, you all know, in this game is part of New Japan. Everybody's got their personal feelings about Michael Elgin. It is what it is. I was never a fan of him in the ring in the first place. That's just me. I know tons of people who are super into Michael Elgin. Super Strong Machine. Saggy Gun Officer. On the anniversary of a man who looks very similar to Super Strong Machine, I'm not going to say... This sound effects always kill me. I'm not going to say he's Super Strong Machine, because Bobby the Brain Heenan told me he wasn't. I'm not going to not believe Bobby the Brain Heenan. Stop it, connection. But yeah, Lance Archer is a bona fide star already. Stepping up with Jake the Snake, already just putting the work in for him. He hasn't had to say a single word, hasn't do anything other than sit there menacingly once or twice. And he's going to go in there and put on an amazing match. I've been a huge fan of him since he was doing stuff with Killer Elite Squad. Come on, gameplay. What are you doing? I'm not. What are you not? Are you saying that Super Strong Machine or Big Super Machine or whatever his name is Andre the Giant? Because he's not. Bobby the Brain Heenan said he isn't.
Keep up.
Stop it. Bring your people, bring Arn Anderson, bring all of them. Give us something to sign that says, you, Cody, will meet us one time. One time. That's all I'm going to ask for, Cody. What are you going to do? It's up to you, Cody. Trust me. Yeah. I love that he's still using the trust me. It's such a good touch to continue doing so. Cody joined Tony Schiavone at the broadcast table. Tony asked Cody about Jake's challenge. I'm aware of Lance Archer's work in Japan. He doesn't have a body of work here. I don't want to be a whiny babyface, so Lance can debut next week. Spoiler! Cool line bleed between, I don't know what's going on here. Cool blending the lines here between real and kayfabe with, you know that he books the matches, right? So, he's debuting next week. So we're going to watch Lance Archer come in and just probably slaughter something like John Silver or something. Just to build it up, and then we'll get Cody. I don't like that he doesn't have a body of work here because their entire company is built on we have body of work in Japan and other companies, especially the Japan stuff. So I don't know why we go with, I'm aware of his work in Japan, but he doesn't have a body of work here, so it means nothing. Okay, well then the Young Bucks are nobody, then Kenny Omega's nobody, then you're nobody because you were in another company, then Jericho's, why was Jericho immediately a star signing? He's a nobody. His body, no body of work in all elite wrestling. Doesn't make any sense to go that route. This is where they get interesting with the comparisons. I'd like to talk about this for a little bit as well. So we had Super Kip Sabian with Penelope Ford versus Darby Allin. Darby Allin is unbelievable. Darby Allin's probably one of my favorite things in AEW. I thought he could have been the Exalted One. So now we're going into... Do you get the young Sting vibes when you look at Darby Allin? Asked Cody to Tony Schiavone, who got to see Sting. I don't. And I've seen people online. Yeah, no, I kind of get it. All it is the face paint. He doesn't have... I love Darby Allin. Listen, I think Darby Allin is amazing. He does not have near the presence or charisma that a young Sting had. And even gimmick to gimmick, he doesn't have near the presence that Crow Sting had, just looming in the rafters and being just a force no matter what. Now, will he get there? Maybe. This is a great company to work for and build that up for you. But I don't think you're doing Darby Allin any favors building him up as young Sting. It's just... It's burying him so early and tagging him to something he almost can't ever achieve because nothing will ever be as big as Sting. Sting was so different at the time. What is Michael Elgin doing? Like, continue to build your star here with Darby Allin, but oh my God, please don't turn this into a we thought he was gonna be young Sting. He's
10
done.
minutes gone.
Don't do that to the kid, please.
1, 2.
Didn't win with a burning hammer. That's insane. I don't like Kip Sabian. I'll just say that right off the hop. So whatever to this match, I didn't really pay attention to it when it happened. Just kind of paid attention when Darby last upper leg submission. Yeah, and Darby just won. So it is what it is. I don't really. I especially didn't like when the Janela Kip Sabian thing was going back and forth, just because I like Janela, don't like Kip Sabian.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah. There's a lot to it. There's Buckle Pop. The Big Hurt Jake Hager squared up with Chico Adams. Hager rammed Chico into the corner post. He followed up with the Vader bomb. Yeah.
Come on.
Arm triangle. I like they're doing the MMA thing. I'm a Jack Swagger fan, Jake Hager fan. I'm a Big Hoss fan.
2.
AKA the Big Hurt. I like that. I like they're building the MMA thing and they're gonna go. He really is a bona fide wrestler. MMA, it is what it is. He's fighting cans in Bellator. They're feeding him nobodies with like 1-0 records, like your stepdad from the barbecue who like accidentally got in the cage one time, and then they're watching Jake just choke people to death because he's a monster. He's also a bona fide Division I amateur wrestling superstar. So if they continue going this route with him, like WWE mishandled it greatly by going the All-American because they're just trying to chase. They're just trying to chase the Kurt Angle high again, and they've messed it up every single time that they've done it. Unreal finish. Michael Elgin takes the L. They've done a really bad job kind of handling this whole thing with trying to recreate the Kurt Angle situation. AEW is doing it a little better. They're just kind of letting him ride off of the charisma of Chris Jericho while letting him be Mr. Wrestling MMA guy. Big win there for Super Strong Machine. Now we're going to get into... We got a couple matches left. It's 16 people, right? So Ken Shamrock's in there because I had to fill space. We're going to get into Samoa Joe versus Tomohiro Ishii. Stone Pitbull. Let's go. I've got my money on the Stone Pitbull here. Joe, I'm sorry. So, whatever, quick decisive victory there. Jon Moxley comes out. Choice words for Hager. It looks like we're getting us some, waste no time, hit Hager with Paradigm Shift. Rolled up, snatch Moxley's leg, applying the ankle lock. Yeah, it looks like we're going to get two very different styles. The Jon Moxley hardcore kind of CZW approach versus what I just talked about in this sweet amateur wrestling style they're going for. This could be a great match. It could be a terrible match. Who knows at this point? Like, it could be 5-star. It could be an unbelievable match. In a video package taped earlier, Brody Lee was shown eating a steak dinner. I love this because I would love to have dinner with Brody Lee. The Exalted one looks great. Join the Dark Order if you haven't already. I love Stu, and I love Evil Uno. Strength in numbers. This is the new Dark Order. We do what we want, when we want. You understand that? We are the lions of the AEW. We prey on the weak. What is wrong with you two? You don't eat before I'm done. You understand that? That'll smart you. Yell the Exalted one. I like it. And then we just go right into, like, that is the lead-in package for Brody Lee's debut. I like that they're building the cult leader thing with, like, they take losers. That's what they've been building. And now it's Brody Lee, just, you're peasants. You're absolute peasants. You're the dregs of the earth. You are under my control. I will eat my steak before you can even touch a pea, my guy. QT Marshall versus the Exalted One, Brody Lee. Brody boots QT, slams QT into the barricade, running back elbow, suplexes, just ran him over. Discus Lariat. I like they still using the Discus Lariat as a finisher. It's a super cool finisher and really fits him well. And crazy, when you don't call it the clothesline from smell, it has effect. Take note, WWE commentary team trying to bury Luke Harper for whatever reason. One of the minutes dropped Dark Order mask on the torso of QT Marshall, who is writhing in pain. Hopefully QT Marshall joins. I hope they just build up this. I want this to be an insane stable. Like NWO size, but it's Brody Lee and the Dark Order. I was going to call them the Super Smash Bros. Leading like 6 or 7 just underwhelming performers. And they all just start getting wins. You know how big of a storyline you can build with that? Where just all of a sudden one day, all of these jobbers are now holding titles and they're dominating and they're the guys to beat now. I'm here Ishii just hit a Steiner screwdriver on the outside on Smojo, and Smojo got up first. Thank you, Fire Pro.
5 minutes gone.
Tony Schiavone says that there was an update on Nick Jackson's condition brought to us via Vanguard 1. The drone flew down to Nick Jackson's house in Rancho Cucamonga, California, where it transmitted the signal. Vanguard 1 spied Nick training his way back to good health. Jackson's recovery was reported as being at 61%. We'll get into an unbelievable match. People can say whatever they want about the AAA Mega Campeon and the championship, but these two guys, Sammy Guevara, is putting on a performance of a lifetime in AEW. He was just kind of like, anybody who watched PWG knew of him, and, you know, the Panda Head stuff, and he is who he is, and everybody was just kind of like, oh, generic cute little Latino high flyer, and now he's like Mr. Playboy, absolute killer, unbelievable in the ring, always has been. Now he's got this really cool, he's the perfect cocky character, and you hate him without even knowing who he is, just by looking at him when he's acting and when he's playing that character. Just his swagger makes you hate him as a person. It's so good. Kenny and Sammy just put on an absolute banger going back and forth for this title. Unbelievable title match. Sammy caught by Kenny, who powerbombed the Spanish God and used the V-trigger. Sammy escaped with a Liger Bomb attempt by Kenny. Sammy missed a shooting star press. Kenny moved, V-trigger, another V-trigger. Jay Driller, one Winged Angel. And then we have the greatest wrestling segment, in my opinion, and what solidifies Chris Jericho as possibly the greatest to ever do it. Dude, whatever. Put your Hulk Hogan's up there. Put your John Cena's up there. Put your Sting's up there. Undertaker, whatever. I get it. I've been watching Chris Jericho since 97, 98. So I've seen everything from straight up cruiserweight Chris Jericho to I'm trying to call Goldberg out Chris Jericho to the Y2J debut where he was a star to double champion Chris Jericho to mentor protege Chris Jericho with the Shawn Michaels stuff. He comes back under a different character. He does the Kevin Owens stuff, which was, again, Festival of Friendship, greatest segment on WWE programming in ages. And now, we get Le Champion, Chris Jericho, hanging out in the ring, and Vanguard 1 flies down. He calls Vanguard 1 a piece of shit, and then proceeds to coerce Vanguard 1 into trying to join the Inner Circle. Chris Jericho, who was the inaugural champion of the company, absolute star, big draw power, the most serious of characters, the Painmaker in Japan, tried to convince a drone to join his stable and convinced everybody at home that probably was a good idea, that Vanguard 1 should have joined. I can't stress enough how good Chris Jericho is at this whole wrestling thing, and I think you all really need to take notice of that and understand that even for a guy like me who, my top Macho Man, Eddie Guerrero, Ric Flair, like those are probably my three. Chris Jericho constantly makes me double think about not having him at number one, and I almost just every time somebody asks, who's your favorite wrestler? It's like Chris Jericho's got to be up there. I've been a Jerichoholic forever. Like the Lion Tamer was the coolest finisher, and now he's calling a drone a piece of shit and then telling it to join the Inner Circle. Like, the Inner Circle would have been Jericho, Hager, Santana Ortiz, Sammy Guevara, Vanguard 1. I think we made a mistake not putting Vanguard 1 into the situation. Samoa Joe chokes Tomohiro Ishii out. So then, we get Vanguard 1 flies away, Matt Hardy standing at the top of the balcony, and then just starts... Okay, so I say teleporting, because he starts teleporting around. I think they should have stuck with it. Of all the things going on, you're going to avoid supernatural stuff just because. Why? Matt Hardy is a billion-year-old avatar named Damascus, piloting the vessel known as Matt Hardy. And you're like, no teleportation. Double down? Instead, they were like, you know what? We were just messing with him. It was smoke and mirrors. Maker of Pain, I knew you'd come. Jericho asked him, how did you do that? And he says, because I am magic. And then they went back and said he's not magic. They doubled down. They went backwards on that one. I'm going to give you another shot. Join the inner circle. Damascus does not join the inner circle because he's over 3,000 years old. Le Champion brings it back to inside. You're the same Matt Hardy I've known for 25 years, always living in the shadow of your brother, the shadow of bad booking, and now the shadow of Le Champion. I'm going to ask you one more time. Are you inner circle or are you elite? Matt Hardy's going to delete the inner circle. Jericho slapped Hardy. Hardy punched back, knocking Jericho to the mat. Sammy G jumped Hardy from behind. Kenny Omega, Cody ran down to help. And that's how we end. So we end with possibly like the strongest segment you could possibly end on. Because that... I can't talk about it enough. Everybody's so concerned with super good wrestling and being very unique and being very niche and being very work rate, and everybody wants to see a 5-star classic, and everybody wants to see a 15-minute banger where we get more Kenny Omega and Okada, and whatever, man, those are great. Kenny Omega versus Okada, every match was just gripping, and it didn't feel like that time went by, but there's something to be said about having Jericho cut a promo on a drone and trying to make the drone join his group. And it's there's just a certain intangible there that makes that, to me, so much better than if they would have just changed that portion of the show and put in some crazy tag match between the Bucks and whoever, or a one-on-one match between Kenny Omega and Pentagon Jr. Like, all those guys are great, but watching Chris Jericho call a drone a piece of shit is going to sit with me forever as one of the greatest things to ever happen in wrestling, and solidify Chris Jericho as the coolest dude of all time, in my eyes. Alright, we move on. We got 2 more matches in the first round because, I don't know, they went out of order for whatever ungodly reason. Eddie Kingston versus Bad Luck Fale. Bad Luck Fail. Bad Luck Fale. Bad Luck the Underboss. And we're going to run that match. Now that we're done talking about the week, because what a week it was. Raw, by far the worst show. And some nice music for Eddie Kingston. Raw, by far the worst match of the week. AEW, by far the best show of the week. Raw's the worst show, not match. And SmackDown, you know what, man? SmackDown wasn't too far behind. I love the Gulag stuff. I love Sami Zayn and Daniel Bryan. I love the tag stuff they kind of got going on. It's a little mishmashy because we've seen the same groups of people going at it over and over and over again for a long time. And then the women's stuff is a little other than Alexa Bliss and Asuka putting on an absolute crazy good match. But overall, it wasn't too far behind AEW. AEW just had the luxury of still being able to put on some of the stuff that they wanted to put on without really changing anything. Like, they don't have WrestleMania coming up. They don't have something that's been 3 months in the works. So they can go and do Sammy Guevara versus Kenny Omega for the AAA Championship and just have it be an unreal match. And then you keep building your Lance Archer stuff, which was going to be promo anyways, with Jake the Snake Roberts, and keep doing your Jericho stuff, which, honestly, the Jericho Matt Hardy stuff's going to be better with the cinematics and the no crowd and the chance to talk without any kind of situation of crowd reaction. It's going to be better that way. Like, I couldn't imagine the Jericho segment going any better if there was people there chanting things at them while they did it. Because overall, I don't hate the fans, but man, you guys ruin a lot of stuff. Like, could have chanted some really dumb. Could have been chanting delete through the whole time that he was trying to call Vanguard one a piece of shit. And I probably would have hated it a little more. But instead, we got a great moment. And that's why we have that kind of as our top. I'll probably pay more attention to NXT in the coming weeks just because I'm going to be doing this. We'll probably do a deathmatch tournament next week. But, whatever, tune in. If you have any suggestions, put them in the comments down below on YouTube. Message me at CarDaddyPlease. I spell the word please in full on every one of my social medias. And by every one of my social medias, I mean my Gmail account that you can email me, CarDaddyPlease@gmail.com. On Twitter, at CarDaddyPlease, full word please, Please. And then, of course, on Twitch, CarDaddyPLS. CarDaddy, do not forget the please. You can hit me up on, I think it's a Discord, too, if you find me on Discord. I don't know how to find my little thing to message me. But whatever, DM me or comment with some cool suggestions that you might have about things you want to do. And I'll try my best to do it. Man, for YouTube, that's all I got for that. I will share with you the finals of this tournament, I guess, in another clip. My name is CarDaddy. Do not forget to please. Thank you for coming to my wrestling review. We out.